What's up everybody, it's your boy Squints here, and today we have a ton to talk about, including patch 10.2.6, the Season 4 Mythic Plus dungeon pool and changes, along with potential release dates for War Within Beta and War Within, and what the upcoming patch schedule may look like. And let's just dive right into it. Patch 10.2.6 is finally coming, and it's coming out March 19th. It is a limited time event that anyone can participate in, even if you don't have Dragonflight or a max level character. All you need is an active WoW subscription. Now, we don't know a lot about this event at all, but there was some data mining recently in the last few months that showed it could be a vampire survivor rogue-like event. And now, although there's been no more data mining or anything we could find about this, because Blizzard is keeping it locked down, which is great. I love this, by the way. I hope they do more of this in the future. It makes a new patch definitely more exciting if it doesn't hit the PTR and we don't know everything right away. But Blizzard has shared some info with some creators around the community, and it seems like some of them have seen some gameplay of what this limited time mode is, and all of them so far genuinely seem very excited about it and can't wait for it to release on March 19th. And all of them so far think this event is going to be an absolute banger, and it's going to bring in a lot of players. So we're gonna have to sit tight and see exactly what this event is gonna hold for us, but I am definitely excited to check it out. And now seeing when 10.2.6 is coming out, it definitely gives us a better idea of when Season 4 is actually gonna drop and how the rest of the patch schedule for the rest of the expansion is gonna pan out, and when we can basically pinpoint where we will see a full release of the War Within. But first, let's talk about Season 4. Season 4, it's official. We're doing all the Dragonflight dungeons. Now, I've seen some mixed comments about this throughout the community. I am personally genuinely pretty excited about it, just because I haven't felt like I spent a lot of time in the Dragonflight dungeons yet, and we are kind of in the expansion, so I rather just end the expansion with all the Dragonflight dungeons and hopefully not see them at all personally during a War Within season. Now, in terms of the dungeon pool, I'm pretty excited to go back to the Azure Vault, Algathar Academy, and although Ruby Life Pools was kind of a pain at times, I'm excited to kind of go check that one out again. But the dungeon pool is not the big exciting thing here. In Season 4, Blizzard is doing a dungeon squish, which I'm going to frame as basically a dungeon revamp of how the system works as a whole. Now, I'm going to preference this by saying if you are a high-level player, these changes are really not going to impact you. But if you're around a 2K rating or someone that wanted to get into Mythic Plus but find it very intimidating, these changes are for you. And I think these changes are some of the most impactful changes they have made to the Mythic Plus and dungeon system that are greatly going to increase player skill and really help new players get into the game. So what exactly does a dungeon squish mean? Here is how the game currently is in Season 3. Normal dungeons are super easy. Heroic dungeons are much more difficult. Mythic 0 dungeons, a little bit harder, but not crazy difficult. And once a timer gets involved, it definitely creates a much more stressful and toxic environment because people are trying to time the dungeon and get rating, and affixes are coming in faster, and you really climb the Mythic Plus key levels extremely fast, even if you're someone new to Mythic Plus, which makes it very overwhelming because you're not really learning mechanics or anything like that really at all as you're journeying through these dungeons. Now, what Blizzard did for Season 4 is they squished the key levels down and changed the difficulty of some dungeons to give a better new player experience and ease players into the difficulty and lower the stakes for these players. So what exactly does that mean? Well, as you can see, normal dungeons are staying untouched in terms of difficulty. They will still be the easy cubal dungeon that you can slam while you're leveling. Heroic dungeons, though, have moved up in terms of difficulty to what Season 3 Mythic 0 difficulty is. So that is a pretty large jump if you look at the diagrams I made here. Now, Mythic 0 difficulty and rewards have also moved up to the equivalent of what a Mythic 10 is, but it still has no timer. So that means Mythic 0 is going to be significantly harder, and so is Heroic, which makes that difficulty curve better for players to learn the mechanics. So Heroic's still going to have Heroic mechanics, but when you make that jump into Mythic 0, you're going to have all the Mythic mechanics, and it's going to feel a little more like the difficulty of a Mega Dungeon. So if you think of when Dawn of the Infinite came out, that's about how challenging a Mythic 0 is going to feel, which is a great change to get new players into Mythic Plus to see the dungeons and learn them. And Mythic 0 is still gonna have a weekly lockout. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this scale up? Well, Mythic 10 is now gonna be the new Mythic 20. So the key levels have shrunk here, and the best way to look at this is just add 10 to a Season 4 key level, and that will be what it was in Season 3. So, for example, if you're gonna do a +8 in Season 4, it is equivalent to a +18 in Season 3. +2 equivalent to a +12, and so on and so on. Just add 10, and that's how you're gonna figure out where the difficulty scale is. And for affixes, they're gonna enable at keystone levels 2, 5, and 10 now. And now, since it's all squished down, you're probably wondering what the new item level cap is, along with how are the rewards and everything going to work out. Well, I made a little handy spreadsheet that you can find in the description below to take a look at it, but it's also here on screen if you don't want to go check that out. The item level is going to increase to 528, up from 489. As you can see, if you really dissect it, it's pretty much equivalent to what it is in Season 3, just adjusted for Season 4 and the new key level system. Now, really quick, since we know when 10.2.6 is coming out, we can anticipate when we may see Season 4 start. So, Blizzard has confirmed it's going to be several weeks before we see Season 4 start, which we can anticipate will be roughly around maybe 5 to 7 weeks. So we can expect to see Season 4 start in late April, early May, which means based on the roadmap, we should see alpha invites for the War Within going out very soon. And if we keep working on this schedule, looking at a summer release for the War Within, we can map out pretty much the next few months of patch cadence. So with the 6-month seasonal patch cycle, we can now roughly guess when we will see the War Within release. If Season 4 does indeed come late April, we can expect 10.2.7 to release sometime in June. And that will follow the every 2 months or so, we're seeing a minor patch hit the live servers. And with pre-patch being the last patch before the War Within, we can roughly expect that 2 months later, which will land us in early August, we can expect to see the pre-patch hit the live servers, which leads me to believe we can confirm a mid to late August release of the War Within, and in the worst case, maybe early September, but because of the summer release, I think they're really aiming to hit August to kind of stay on that 6-month major patch cycle. And now you're probably wondering, well, where does the beta for War Within fall in between all this? Like, when is that potentially going to happen? So the beta actually falls right between patch 10.2.7 and pre-patch. So I think we can anticipate a very late June or more likely an early July window for beta testing to start. Now, this is all very exciting to see because I know a lot of people can't wait to get their hands on War Within, and it's going to be very important for us to test the game, provide constructive feedback, and really test out hero talents because that is one of the main pillars of this upcoming expansion, along with Delves. So those are your boys' predictions on when you can expect to see Season 4 start. Get your hands on those next few patches, hit the pre-patch, start grinding out some beta testing, and then get your hands on the War Within. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the Season 4 Mythic Plus dungeon changes. I think they're great, but I would love to hear what y'all think. Also, share your predictions on what you think the 10.2.6 patch and the limited time event is going to be like, along with when you think the War Within and some of these patches are actually going to be released. And with all that, don't forget to punch that like button, kiss that subscribe button, and tickle my bell, and I will see y'all next time.